We are going to look at approximation with decimal places. We have an example here on the board which says express 23.647508 correct to 1 decimal place, 2 decimal place, 3 decimal place, 5 decimal place, and to the nearest whole number. All I want you to know about approximation is this. Approximation is the same thing as rounding off numbers. When you're asked to approximate, you are expected to use numbers as from 5 to 9. That is the only way you can approximate. When the number is less than 5, you cannot approximate. You only approximate between 5 to 9. So we are going to use that guide now to go for all this. I want to approximate all this to the nearest decimal, to 1 decimal places, and so forth. So we are going to solve this now using this number 23.647508. We want to use this number to solve for all this. We are going to use it to approximate to 1 decimal, to 2 decimal place, 3 decimal, 4, 5 decimal place, and to the nearest whole number. The first thing you have to do here to make it easier for us is this. Use your pencil. Write in 1 starting from the numbers after your decimal points. You are going to make it as your guide. You write your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The essence of writing this number on top is for us to make use of the number depending on what we are asked to approximate. So now if you look at this, once we approximate to 1 decimal place, we are going to look at where we have 1 on top. That is where we are going to circle. So I'm going to write my first number A. We have 23.647508. To 1 decimal place, I'm going to circle where I have 1 now. When I circle where I have 1, you now look at the number that is next to it. If it's up to 5. If it's up to 5, you approximate. If it's not up to 5, you don't approximate. If you look at this now, what we have there is 4. It's not up to 5. So I'm going to write my number at back. Bring down my 23 because nothing is affecting it. 6. So this is what to 1 decimal place. We go to the next one, B. So 2 decimal places, 23.647508 to 2 decimal places. Circle where you have 2. When you circle where you have 2, look at the number that is next to it. If it's up to 5. If it's up to 5, you can approximate, but the number next to it now is 7. So that shows that we can take 1 from it and add to what? The 4 there to make it 5. Before then, nothing is affecting all these numbers. Only the one that you circle that you are going to change using the number that is next to it. So we have this as 23.6. Take 1 from this one and add to this 4 becomes what? 5. This is what to 2 decimal places. Then we'll go to the next one, which is what to 3 decimal places. 23.647508. Once you approximate this to 3 decimal places, I'm going to clean this one now and circle where we have 3. That is the essence of writing all this number up. It will help you to know the one you are going to approximate to make it easier for you. So now we are looking for 3 decimal places. We have circled where we have 3. Before then, all these ones that you not circle, nothing is affecting it. So you are going to write those numbers out. The numbers before the one you circled, nothing is affecting it. So you are going to write which is 23.64. Then now look at the one you have circled now. The number that is next to it. If it's up to 5, you approximate. If it's not up to 5, you don't approximate. But now this number we have here is 5, so we can approximate it. Take 1 from here and add to 7 here to give us what? 8. So this is what to 3 decimal places. Then the last one we have there is what? To 5 decimal places. We have 6.47508 to 5 decimal places. I'm going to circle where I have 5 now. As I circle where I have 5, I'm going to write down all these numbers at first, so that when I'm approximating it, you will not get confused. So write down the numbers at first. 23.6475. Then now go to the one you have circled. Look at the number next to it. It's more than 5. So what we have here is 8. Take 1 from this 8 and add to this there, it becomes what? 1. So write your 1 here. So this one to 5 decimal places. So we'll go to the last one we have there, which is what? To the nearest whole number. To the nearest whole number. When we are looking something for the nearest whole number, we are not using these numbers now. We are now going to use the numbers before your decimal point. but the number before your decimal point you are using is the last number you have before your decimal point. You are going to make use of the first number after your decimal point. If it's more than 5, you can now take from it and add to the one, that the last number before your decimal point. So what am I trying to say now is this: you can see we have 23 here, 0.6, and so forth. So I'm going to take one. This 6 is more than 5. I'm going to take one from this 6 and add to this 3 here to give us what? 4. So this place changes to what? 24. So this is what? To the nearest whole number. So that is our answer. So once you are asked to approximate, make sure you use the guide above. It will make it easier for you. So let's take another example to also show what we have done so far. So example 2. Now we are going to look at example 2. Round off 14.63748 to the A, nearest whole number, B, 3 decimal places, 1 decimal place, and what? 4 decimal places. Now we are going to use this number to solve for the following. So now let's look at, I'm going to write out the number as 1463748. The first question says to what? The nearest whole number. Remember I told you that the nearest whole number, we are using this number here. But we are going to look at the first number immediately after your decimal point. If it's more than 5, take one from it and add to the last number before your decimal point. That gives you your nearest whole number. So I'm going to bring out my values as 14.63748. I want to approximate this to the nearest whole number. So I'm going to take one from this 6 and add to this 4 here to give me what? 5. So what I have here is what? 15, because there's a 1 here. So I'm going to put my 1 down, take 1 from here, add to this 4, it becomes what? 5. So that gives us what? 15. 15 to the nearest whole number. Then I go to the next one, which is what? To 3 decimal places. So I'm going to bring out my values to 3 decimal places. Now I'm going to write my guide. So now we are going to look at the second one, which is what? To 3 decimal places. Now we want to go for decimal place. Remember I told that when you are solving for decimal place, you are going to put your guide, which is 1, 2, and so forth. But once you are solving for nearest whole number, you are using number before your decimal place. That is what we just did now. So we want to go for a decimal places now. 3 decimal places. I'm going to put my guide, which is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now the question says to 3 decimal places. I'm going to circle where I have 3 now. Circle where I have 3, you have 3. So when you circle where you have 3, before then write out all these numbers, because nothing's affecting it. All you are focused on is the one you circled and the number that is next to it, if it's up to 5. So now we are going to put down the numbers we already have, that 14.63. So now we want to look for 3 decimal places. Look at the we have circled this now. The number that is next to it is 4. It's not up to 5. So in that case, we cannot approximate it. Rather, we are going to put that number down that way. So what we are going to put down there is what? 7. We put the number we have there that way, because the number that is next to it is not up to 5. We cannot approximate it. So what we have here is what? 14.637 to what? 3 decimal places. Then we go to the next one, which is what? To what? 1 decimal place. I'm going to put down my value questions out. To 1 decimal place, I'm going to circle where I have 1 now. I'm done with 3, so I'm going to clean up the 3 circled O. So you circle where you have 1, look at the number that is next to it. The number that is next to it, is it up to 5? It's not up to 5. What we have there is what? 3. So that shows we cannot approximate it. So we are going to put that number down that way. So we have this as well, 14.6 to what? What we have? To 1 decimal places. We go to the next one, which is what? To 4 decimal places. I'm going to write out my values, 748 to 4 decimal places. I'm going to circle where I have 4. This is where I have 4. I'm going to circle it. Once I circle where I have 4, I'm going to write out all these numbers before the one I circle. Nothing's affecting them. Write them down out first so I don't make a mistake. So I'm going to write 14.637. Then now go down to the one that I have circled and check the number that is next to it if it's more than 5. If it's more than 5, take 1 and add to the one you have circled. So now what we have here is what? 8. It's more than 5. So I'm going to take 1 from this 8 and add to this 4 to give us what? 5. So I'm going to write my 5 there. So that is what? To what? 4 decimal places. So these are our answers. So when you are asked to approximate to the decimal places, all you need to do is make sure the number you are using to approximate is from 5 upward. Once it's 5 upward, you approximate. Once it's not up to 5, from 0 to 4. But today, in our next class. Thank you.